Welcome back. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually take you through the stretching routine that we just broke down into a slower program. But we'll do this in real time, and what I'll have you do is just follow along. I'm going to do this in a format and at a speed that is real time so that you can, if you want, over the next couple of days, or even if you want to every time you're stretching, if you don't want to memorize these, just go along, follow along with what my routine is, and you'll find that over time this is going to give you a lot of benefit. Let's go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go down into the squat. We're just going to have shoulder width apart, drop down into the squat, and remember we're going to hold right here. So from this position, again, the idea is to get your buttock just to go sink down as low as you can and just relax into your heels. If you're not able to do this, then get as close as you can. And we're just going to kind of stretch. I'm going to tuck my chin, really stretching everything. Just feel your spine open up. Make it like it's a gooseneck lamp. You're just trying to stretch everything. Then we're going to reach over, and we're just going to gently stretch. And again, I'm taking deep breaths, exhaling, and just stretching. Switch to the other side. Let the breath out. Let the body just relax into it. I'm going to push and pull with my arm a little bit. I'm going to reach. I'm going to drop my buttock down at the same time, opening up the whole left side. Come back over to the other side. And reach and stretch. The idea with this, even if you're pressed for time, is just to give yourself permission to have 5 or 7 minutes where nothing in the world really matters, and you can focus on relaxing and stretching. For that 7 minutes, nothing's going to change in the world. So just take the time. Again, I'm stretching down here. And now I'm just going to drop to my back. I'm going to stay curled up. Remember, this one is where I'm just going to roll back and just kind of let my body relax. I'm going to come right into gently rolling back and forth. Just roll back and forth. You'll feel your spine kind of release some tension. You might feel some snapping and popping. None of this should cause any pain. Just releasing tension. I'm going to slowly bring my chin to my chest as I roll. And I'm going to rock back. Again, I'm just breathing deeply, not forcing any breathing, but making sure that I'm breathing deeply and just kind of relaxing my whole body as I stretch and open things up. I'll drop one leg down, keep the other one up, and I'm just going to stretch and hold. Again, everything should be in a pain-free zone. I'm going to bring my chin up. I'm going to drop back down. And you can see I'm not really holding anything for 30 or 60 seconds. I'm just getting a stretch, slowly moving into it, releasing it back down, and then I switch sides. You can do 2, 3, 4, 5 repetitions of each side, whichever you'd like. What I'm doing here is what I call the abbreviated version. I'm just doing 2 repetitions with each one, because I'm going to pretend that I've really only got about 5 or 7 minutes to get this routine done. Okay, one of the things, and I think I neglected this earlier, but one of the things I also add in at this point is just to kind of loosen the back up. I'll drop down here and just let it stretch. I'll drop down here. Again, if you feel some popping or release of tension down here, don't worry about it. And after I've stretched it a little bit, a couple of times, slow deep breaths, and bring it over this way. And then I'll do a little bit more of a dynamic stretch. I'm just gently going to go back and forth, just a few times. Okay, everything's really relaxed. You can see there's really no tension in my body. I'm not forcing anything. And I'm just working on relaxing everything into a little bit of a dynamic stretch. Okay? From this position, I'm going to roll to my side, come back up, and I just get into the wide leg position. Remember, I'm going to lock my knees out. I'm going to push my toes up to the ceiling. I'm going to straighten my back. Okay, you can see I'm pushing up a little bit, extending my spine. I'm going to drop forward, and I'm just going to hold. Deep breath. Exhale. Stretch into it. Keep the chin up. Deep breath. Exhale. Stretch into it. Now we'll reach over to the right side. I'm just going to reach. Stretch into it. Again, gentle breathing. Come back, and I'm going to move slowly over to the left side. And gentle breathing into it. Typically, one side will be a little tighter than the other. That's normal for most people. You just work a little more into stretching that tighter side. For me, opening up the right side, it's a little tighter in my hip. But after I've done this stretch, I balance everything out. And I'm going to drop back over here. And back over. And you can see we're not really taking all that much time, but I'm just gently stretching, moving into it. Then I'll come back to the center. I'll drop down. Gentle stretch. Come back up. Go right into the butterfly. Again, you want to just move into as tight a position as you possibly can. If you're not able to get down this low, that's fine. You work on it. I'm just going to hold it down. Notice I'm not bouncing. There's no bouncing going on. I don't want any ballistic movement like that. Okay, we're just going to stretch into it, hold it gently. I'll move right into right leg forward, dropping down into a stretch. Breathe deep and exhale. Move into the next leg. And I'll just feel it kind of stretch all along my back, my hamstrings. Come back up. I'll move into this leg, stretching down and breathing. Again, the idea is just let the body stay relaxed. There's no tension. The idea is to get rid of tension. By the way, this isn't just something you can do in the morning. You can also do this at night just before you go to bed. And I'm going to show you in the next segment, I'm going to show you some more information on just what you can do before bed to increase oxygenation to the tissues and help your body relax a little bit more, recover and heal while you sleep. Now, we're going to move up into the fencer's position. Again, if you can't get this low, get as far as you can. If your position is here and you're stretching and you're feeling this stretch all down to the inner thigh, that's fine. That's all I need. But eventually you'll get to the point where you'll progress even more. And I'm going to move slowly into stretching the hip flexors, the hip joint. I'm going to roll away from it. Open it up, do the best you can. If you're flexible enough and you can pull it up here, do that. If not, just pulling it up like that, you'll feel it open up the hip flexors a little bit more. I'm going to lean into my shoulder. I'm keeping myself very stable. You can see that my hand, my knee, and my foot are giving me a nice little tripod to rest on. Okay, I slowly drop over here and I move into this position and I'm just dropping down. Again, I'm locking out the knee, pointing the toe to the ceiling. Now I'm going to slowly move over to the next position. Same thing. And then I'll move into this. Slowly drop the hip down. Come back up. Hold the foot if you can. Lean into that shoulder. Drop the hip down a little more. Come back to center. Again, we'll do that one more time on each side. And slowly roll into it. and come up like this. This is a really important stretch to help you maintain proper posture, because we spend so much time sitting. I mean, you think about it, you wake up in the morning, most of us are sleeping a little bit in a fetal position. We get up and we have breakfast and we're sitting. We jump in our cars and we commute for an hour, hour and a half, or however long, and we're sitting. Most of us are having jobs that require us to sit all day. We come home, we have dinner, we hang out in front of the boob tube, watch TV shows or whatever, and we're sitting. Then we go to bed and we get back into the hip flex or in the fetal position, and the whole time we're keeping ourselves all scrunched up, okay? Now I'm going to come back up like this, drop straight down, and I'll show you from the side. We're going to go right into the calf stretch. Again, I'm pushing that down. If I want, I can keep my heel down and kind of walk away a little bit, get a little more of an extended stretch. Come into this one. Notice the whole time I'm keeping my back straight. So we're going to stretch into that. Stretch here again on the other side. Now I'm going to lift my head up a little bit, drive the heel down, and I'll feel it stretch a little more as I drop my hip forward. The key is to keep that heel down. And this way again. Pick my head up, drop forward, come back to center. Okay, and I'm going to face you. I'm going to be in this position, dropping down as best I can. We're going to come up here. I'm going to stretch, extend up, lean back, come back to center. Now I'm just going to reach up and over. I can either do bent arms or I can move like this. I'm going to come back to the floor in just a second. Stretch over. We'll do this a couple times. And I'm breathing in, exhaling. And again. I'm going to come back to the floor. We went a little bit out of sequence, but you can mix and match. You can make it up as you go, okay? But the basic sequence is what we just did. Then I'm going to add a little bit of extension here. Remember, this was an important one for the low back. I've kind of loosened things up. I'm going to stretch forward, tractioning myself forward a little bit, swaying my low back. I'm going to slowly start working myself up. Remember, it's not really trying to jam it up. I'm just stretching it up slowly. I'll come back down. I'll extend back up. I'm going to lift my head, lift my shoulders, and kind of curl up and just assist myself with my arms. Open up that hip flexor area. Open up this area here. Keep the pelvis pinned down. I'm going to drop down. Again, for the chest and shoulders, I'm going to reach back here, push up, lift up, stretch the shoulders back, head up, and drop back down. Let everything relax. Re-engage the arms, stretch up, lift up, head up, and I'm just going to stretch it back and drop back down. And I like to always finish off with one more back extension. Just leave everything kind of open. I'll kind of move around into it. And then come up like this. We'll curl up. Just kind of get everything nice and tight. We're going to come up like this. Curl the back. Push up, breathe in, exhale as you drop down. And I'm really trying to arch my back, get my head and neck up. Push up again. Couple of deep breaths and drop back down. And that's it. pretty easy. I didn't time it, but it was probably around 7, maybe 10 minutes max. And that was because I was explaining things a little bit more still. But you can go through this routine. You can cut out things that are causing any kind of discomfort. Remember, the key is to do things in a pain-free zone. Don't try to replicate exactly what I do if you're a little tighter, okay? Some people are going to be a lot more inflexible than others. Some people are going to have a real easy time, and in fact, there are going to be a few out there that can twist themselves into a pretzel that I can't. But this is just a general stretching routine to use in the morning when you get up, get yourself moving, get your body calibrated for motion and function, and go out and seize the day. I call it Carpe Diem stretching. Thanks.